Hello everyone, welcome to IPM IAS Academy's daily news highlights. Today is 19th September 2024. Let's see what are the important news for today's discussion, and before that, if you have not yet subscribed this channel, please do subscribe the channel so that you will continue to get updates regarding civil services examination and current affairs. Simultaneous polls plan gets Union Cabinet note. So the Union Cabinet approved Kovind's panel recommendations for the simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. Municipal and panchayat polls will follow within 100 days of the general election. Prime Minister Modi called this a major democratic reform. So this is a major democratic reform that is going to happen in our country, which is actually in the discussion form. So it is about simultaneous elections in the parliament and also in the state legislative assemblies. So how you can actually make this happen? It can be initiated through making amendments to certain articles in our constitution, that is articles 83 and also article 172 of the constitution, that would allow synchronized elections and which will address the hung houses or no confidence motion. There are a lot of criticism and opposition regarding this particular initiative. So based on this article, you need to have an idea about the Kovind's panel's recommendations, and you should also know about what is this simultaneous elections to Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, and what are the advantages of it, what are the disadvantages of it. You have to have an idea, and then specifically what are the important articles which are actually highlighting these concepts in the constitution, or which are actually connected with these concepts in the constitution. You should have an idea. This particular article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 2, and it's a part of Indian polity. India to freeze talks with Pakistan on Indus waters. Basically, this article is all about the Indus Water Treaty, the water sharing between India and Pakistan. So India has actually frozen our talks with Pakistan on the Indus Water Treaty, halting permanent Indus Commission meetings until governments negotiate a treaty revision. India's 4 requests to renegotiate the 64-year-old treaty have received unsatisfactory responses. So basically, our requests were not given satisfactory responses. That is the reason why we have actually frozen our talks with Pakistan. So this treaty was actually signed in 1960 and governs the sharing of 6 Himalayan rivers between India and Pakistan. Despite tensions and conflicts, the PIC, that is the Permanent Indus Commission, has continued regular meetings to resolve water sharing disputes and hydel project issues. So based on this, what you need to understand is what is this Indus Water Treaty, what are the important features of the Indus Water Treaty, and what are the important rivers they are actually mentioning here, that is the Indus River and the major 5 tributaries of the Indus River. You have to have an idea, and then the geography, the location of this, how is the course of the Indus River, that also you should have an idea. And apart from this, what is our present relation with Pakistan? Okay, so these are the important concepts you need to understand. This coming in page number 4, General Studies 2. It's a part of international relations and also part of Indian polity. Tharoor to head Standing Committee on External Affairs. The senior Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has been appointed as the head of the Standing Committee on External Affairs, while Charanjit Singh Channi will lead the agricultural panel. Congress has strategically balanced experience and caste consideration in its committee leadership selections. Okay, so what you need to understand from this news, you should have an idea about what is standing committee in the parliament. Okay, what are the different standing committees in the parliament, and what is the objective of standing committee on external affairs? You have to have an idea. And why do we need standing committees, or why do we need committees in the parliament? So there are 2 types of committees, one is standing committee and one is ad hoc committee. So what are the purpose of all these committees? Please try to have an idea. This particular article is coming in page number 4, General Studies 2, and it's a part of Indian polity. Chandrayaan 4 Venus orbiter get approval from Union Cabinet. So the Union Cabinet approved Chandrayaan 4 aimed at bringing moon rocks to Earth. So that's a major focus of the Chandrayaan 4, and a Venus orbiter mission planned for 2028 launch. Chandrayaan 4 mission will involve multiple launches, showcasing India's growing lunar exploration capabilities. Very, very important article. You have to have an idea about what is Chandrayaan 4, what are the objectives and features of this Chandrayaan 4 initiative. When you are trying to understand the Chandrayaan 4 details, you should also try to get an overview about the other 3 Chandrayaan missions, Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2 and Chandrayaan 3. You need to have an idea. The Gaganyaan program received expanded funding, advancing India's goal of building a space station, that is Bharatiya Antariksh Station, by 2035 and conducting a crewed lunar mission by 2040. A space docking experiment will also be conducted later this year. So based on this article, you should also have an idea about Gaganyaan program, okay, how the funding is actually happening, and they also talk about the Bharatiya Antariksh Station or the Indian Space Station. So please try to have an idea about that also. This particular article is coming in page number 6, General Studies 3, and it's a part of Science and Technology. So it is really important. You have to understand the features, the specific features of the Chandrayaan mission. A fair share. The Finance Commission must address the concerns of high-performing states. So what is this all about? This particular article is about the Finance Commission and its recommendations. The finance ministers from 5 opposition ruled states demanded an increase in the divisible pool of taxes from 41% to 50% and a cap on the center's cesses and surcharges by bypass the tax devolution mechanism. The Karnataka Chief Minister seeks a meeting with opposition and BJP ruled states to discuss growing concerns over states' autonomy under GST framework and penalization of high-performing states with better economic indices. So this particular article is mainly connected with the Finance Commission. So based on this, you need to have an idea about the functions of Finance Commission, what are the constitutional provisions which are connected with the Finance Commission, what are the features of the Finance Commission, and why they are mentioning about a fair share. Because what is going wrong? If something is going wrong, only they are actually mentioning about something. Fair share is needed. So what is this fair share they are actually talking about? Please try to have an idea about it. This particular article is coming in page number 8, General Studies 3, and it's a part of Indian economy. Then page number 13, one important news is related with the cash-strapped Sri Lanka eyes China development project once again. So, the Sri Lanka's economic collapse in 2022 was partly attributed to Chinese-funded projects, leading to a financial crisis that ousted the then President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The country has since secured $2.9 billion IMF bailout loan to stabilize its economy. So we know about it because Sri Lanka was going through economic crisis, and during that time period, the IMF came out for its rescue, and they have given out around 2.9 billion crore, okay, for actually stabilizing the economy. So despite its financial struggles, candidates in Sri Lanka presidential election are looking to revive Chinese funded projects. Basically, one of the reasons for their economic problem was the Chinese funded projects only. So now again they are trying to revive the Chinese funded projects, particularly the port city development. So we know that in history, Hambantota port was actually the contribution of it was a funded project of China. So all these developments were happening in China, and which actually resulted into the economic crisis, and now again that is reviving. They would like to have a better relation with China, especially they are eyeing on development projects once again. So based on this article, you need to have an idea about how the relation is going on between China and Sri Lanka, and also what is India's stand on it. Okay, what will happen if China and Sri Lanka is going together, if China and Sri Lanka is having a better cordial relation? Is it affecting India's security? Is it affecting India's diplomatic relations? Is it affecting India's power structure in the international sphere? All these points you need to have an idea, and also try to have an idea about the location of these countries. It is actually coming in page number 13, General Studies 2, and it's a part of international relations. Chinese naval vessels sail between Japanese islands near Taiwan. The Chinese naval passage near Japan. A Chinese aircraft carrier and 2 destroyers sailed between Japanese islands near Taiwan, marking the first time they entered Japan's contiguous zone. Japan condemned the move as a threat to regional security. So basically, China is having its own conflicts with many countries in the region, especially because of the South China Sea crisis and all. So here they are talking about a problem with Japan. Okay, Japan is actually considering it as a threat to their regional security. So you have an idea about the location of this China and Japan, and how it is going to affect the relation between both the countries. Please try to have an idea. Now about the diplomatic tensions over Senkaku Islands. The passage occurred near the disputed Senkaku Islands, intensifying tensions between Japan and China. Japan expressed serious concerns through diplomatic channels, while China maintained the passage compiled with international law. Okay, so based on this article, try to have an idea about what is Senkaku Islands and what is the conflict which is actually existing there based on this Senkaku Islands. Okay, so these are the important news we would like to discuss in today's newspaper. And if you feel like this informative for you, this is useful for you, please like, share and subscribe. Please share it with your friends also and ask them to subscribe so that they will also continue to get updates regarding civil services examination and current affairs. Thank you.